This is Voyager-19. You might know this game. It is by a developer named Mrs. He is also the developer of Rot Flesh, which is a game of his I still haven't played yet, but I need to get around to doing. Rot Flesh and, more notably, Endoparasitic. Time do you have to go, by the way? 8 p.m. my time, so just a little under 3 hours from now, since it's 4:40. But this is only like 30 minutes long, so. This is an Iron Lung style game that he made that I've been really excited to try. There's no mouse. That's interesting, but okay. It's a very short game, but I've been excited to try it. The official goal of this mission is to search for habitable planets in the Okrulu sector. But your real mission is to figure out what happened to the Magella science expedition that went missing there. The public is unaware that they've deviated from their original course and cut communications. We need to know what happened before it gets publicized. We provided you a Voyager-19 series spacecraft. It's basic, but has hibernation tech and fractional light speed capable engines. The electronics are the main limitation. Radiation will degrade them on interstellar flights, but they will remain functional for 7 missions, for the 7 missions we've commissioned you for. So yeah, welcome to the inside of this spaceship. And welcome to our, Milneus OS. I'm gonna turn it down for so beeping is. I mean, it seems fine. Planets photographed 4, planets recorded 1, missions completed 7. So, the entire point of this is that we want to take pictures of different celestial bodies. Already photographed, okay. Let's see if we need to turn around. Too far. We can get a little closer. There we go. That's a nice little planet. Also, sorry, Joey, that wasn't a Joey game. I like listening to the planets. It's fun. Whoa. Going on here. Is it the moon? Joey's back. Are you hearing this? That shit sounds like it's dying. If that doesn't make us crash into the plane. That's cute. Hibernation time. Uh-oh. The radiation has already started to affect our systems. That's not good. That sure is a sun. Okay. Wondering if I could catch it spinning. Yeah, this is very Iron Lung inspired. Miz is one of my favorite game developers, in part because he puts his game development videos on YouTube. And they're very no-nonsense and to the point. They're very just like, this is why I did this thing, not like, hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, so I made this cool video game! It's just very, very blunt, very to the point, very dry. They're fun, but they're there for information and purposes, and not to like, just be pure entertainment. And so as somebody really into game development, I really enjoy them. I've played a number of his games. Would like to play more. This ice planet is... It sure is something, isn't it? Hibernation time. Let's see how much the radiation has affected our system now. Yep. We don't have enough for, we don't have enough for everything now. 3 more planets. Oh, this is one. It's gonna be very funny if I have to start balancing life support. It's a transplanet. I wonder how long that gives me. Magella's vessel. Impact detected? Micrometeor. Rude. Navigation system powered. Wow. Oh, you know what? I probably could have taken a picture of the meteorite that hit me. Oh. That's not a meteorite at all. Well, that's the Magella's vessel. Which is the thing we were looking for. I wonder what happened to it. J1. Hey, we're gonna go right through the planet there. Is that okay? I guess we could go above it. Oh, we just kind of skirt around it. Fair enough. Excuse me? That's not the noise that a planet like that's supposed to make. Aww. Okay, yeah, sure, fuck it. That encrypted files, start decryption before travel. Time left 3 years. Okay. Oh. Anomaly detecting system LK, target planet LK2. Potentially habitable, does not exist. Huh. Is it 3 years between each of these? That's kind of insane. Another blue sun. It is getting a little hard to read this terminal, I won't lie. EL1. What are you talking about, Moon Lily? This is a fantastic way to get data. What could be bad about this? Okay. A nice, pretty white. I'm kind of curious what it sounds like if we leave the radio. Travel. EL2. Wait, wasn't this the one that said it was habitable? No, that's LK2. Excuse me? That's not how a planet's supposed to look. Okay. It says not in light, but I'm not really sure how to fix that. I don't know, we can see it pretty goddamn well. I might need to get a better angle. I guess we could be blocking it. The ghost of a planet that died? Hey, that's not how planets work. Well, now it's definitely not. Keep turning off radio when I'm in camera. I think Barry was right. No. We are NASA-trained scientists. We're not going to sit here and believe in ghost planet. Absolutely not. There we go. Yeah, that's normal. That's how planets are supposed to look. Is that breathing me? User 14, oh no, 147. He's changed our course and disabled the comm system. User 26. Right, so the committee can't remotely override our route when they find out. User 147, this is dangerous. The ship is designed to last at least 60 years, but with the route he wants, we'll be out here for almost 100. User 25, I know it's crazy, but what if his theory is 147, it's an anomaly in the data. We should expect that given how far out, or how far out we are. The team back home is good, but they're trying to interpret subpixels of telescope images. Okay. Journal entry time. Script 4 year. Yeah, let me guess. Only two things now, right? We have 5 to photograph here. Oh, thrusters are powered up. Okay. I have to have navigation and thrusters on. calm down. You're fine. Did I get the recording? Did. Two suns orbiting next to each other. Doesn't that cause the... Wait, no, that's the three-body problem. Never mind. I honestly don't know if we could even go again. Our computer is pretty fucked. Not even sure we'll be able to decode anything off of it. FD. No, I know. Hey, there we go. Normal moon sounds. FD2. I'm sorry, do we hear that? That's a heartbeat. That's a fucking heartbeat. Okay, I was trying to see if I could photograph it. Right on the heartbeat. Doesn't seem to do anything. Okay, normal. Extremely disturbing, but normal. One. Oh, we passed by the... Okay. Okay. I mean, it was making some downright terrifying noise. Yeah, okay. Hold on, I'm scripting off. Oh, come on. This is just not legible. Certain physical principles hold true across massive size differences and create illusions of similarity. A cell looks like a star in supernova. Our eyes look like a nebula. What if these similarities applied to life at different scales as well? Yeah, okay, sure. Fuck it, man. Whatever. How much power do I have? 2? Yeah. Center. Okay, there. There's to do 3 today? Yeah, 3. Power. Barely see anything. Son of a bitch, we're on the dark side of it. So we need to be... over on this side. Why is it dark? That's... Sweetie, that's what planets do. No, there's 2 suns here, but the other one's pretty far away. Still not in the light, huh? Now let's listen to this fucking thing. Sure, it'll be normal. Sorry, I'm not saying much, but this is like really getting under my skin. Also, to be fair, we don't know that this other thing is a sun, it's just big. It could just be a big planet. A Dorb star? No such thing. We ruled those out in astrophysics class a long time ago. Hey, what? Hey, wait, what? Did you guys see that? Did you guys see that? The fucking heartbeat planet was photobombed us. Okay, that's good. Three out of 4. What other planet is there? Oh, there is one up there. That wasn't there before, though. I don't think that was there before. Question mark, question mark, question mark, huh? That's good. Hold on. I don't like this thing. Knowing Mrs.'s, they probably did. I don't fucking like this thing. These predators may mimic food or sexual partners to live in their prey. One example is the snapping turtle, whose tongue resembles a worm. It can wriggle around when fish attempt to eat at it. They will instead be eaten by the turtle. Another form of aggressive mimicry is found. Do we have mimicking planets? That sure is something, huh? How many? Oh, cool. We have one thing of power. Well, I guess we're already here. it's not centered. Picture good. You know, that's the thing that matters. Fantastic. Right, I have to turn on the thrusters to actually move. Guess we might as well turn the... Uh-oh. That sure is a heartbeat. Too far? What are you talking about? I couldn't get any closer if I tried. Okay, hold on. I'm sure nothing will go wrong. Picture good. Recorded 2 out of 4. I don't feel good about this. Just don't feel good at all. Wait, this one's SC1. What am I at then? C2. No, and we're almost done with this. Oh, good. This one's got a heartbeat too. Wow, that sure is the exact same thing. Just following me around, huh? That sure is the exact same picture. Yeah, sure. Fuck it, man. Whatever. It's fine, we're gonna go all the way up here. If it's a planet that's like a parasite, it can't follow us all the way up here. Surely. This is light years away. It'd have to move incredibly fast. I'm sure we're gonna turn this on, and there won't be a heartbeat. Good. You say there's nothing in the picture. I can't fucking. Okay, fuck it, we're breath edging. Not in light. What do you mean? It's perfectly in light. Also, it's habitable. Look at it. It's green. Not gonna lie, an entire planet made out of oxidized copper sounds kind of fucking sick. Not in light. What are you talking about? Yes, the equipment is degraded because of space radiation. Are you fucking kidding me? This is the dark side. Okay, so we need to be on the opposite. I guess. Go back a little. Now let's try turning around. Not center. Right there. Not centered still. Impact detected. Uh-oh. Hey, excuse me? Hey, excuse me. Hey, excuse me? Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. Wait, I have to know. What does it sound like? Wait, shut power. Wait, maybe I'll be okay? Oh, never mind. It's definitely getting closer. Well. Well. Oh well. Voyager-19 craft has failed to establish communication. Losses cannot be hidden from public any longer. Recommend waiting until election cycle is over to announce. Well, isn't that cute? Alright, there's planet monsters. That's good. There's scary planet monsters. You know what? Real quick, even though this did go a little longer than I meant it to, we're gonna watch the making of this because it is only 8 minutes long. So reminds me of that one YouTube channel. I don't know what you mean. Oh, Local 58. Yeah, it's a little Local 58 though. Making a claustrophobic space horror game where you photograph planets.
I went to GDC this year, and on the flight I watched It's Quieter in the Twilight, a documentary about the Voyager spacecrafts. It shows the struggles the scientists have had maintaining them while still trying to do science. For example, quickly rerouting power from the heater that keeps its propulsion fuel from freezing to the magnetometer to do a sweep to collect data before quickly turning the heater back on. I thought this could make for a really interesting horror game and set to work making it. So the game concept is, you're the pilot of a space probe dubbed Voyager-19. You photograph and record record radio waves of planets, your ship decays over time, making completing missions harder and harder, and finally have some kind of creepy stuff happen. Now, I wanted the player to actually
I
be
love that
inside
creepy
the probe
stuff
because
is the
that's scarier
afterthought.
than remotely controlling it, which I guess makes this basically Iron Lung in space, which I'm okay with because I've always wanted to try making an Iron Lung style game. The first thing I made was the computer monitor where you control the probe. It's a basic UI system controlled with the arrow keys and enter. The color scheme is inspired by the Play-Doh computer from the 60s. I think warm orange glowing retro computer screens are very cool, and from this monitor you can access different menus.
Mission shows your current mission progress and lets you travel to the next one when you're done.
Navigation shows a
Yeah,
map
I
of
liked
the star
this. It
system
was
you're
cool.
in, and you can choose locations to travel to, though it isn't one-to-one accurate with the actual 3D world. Behind the scenes, I move you much closer to planets and snap you at set distances, so it's easier to take pictures and record planets. Speaking of, the sensors menu lets you take those photos and toggle the radio on and off. The radio has a simple waveform display that tracks the last few frames of how loud audio from the radio audio bus was and draws lines of different heights and colors based on that.
The camera uses a 3D camera in a different viewport where all the planets are to take a picture and then loads that picture to the screen using a shader that draws it in one block at a time.
This effect was partially inspired by those blocky NASA panoramas, and the way it works is in shader I divide the UVs into the column and row count, assign each block an index, divide by total block count, and then have an externally set load percentage float that goes from 0 to 1, and then any block higher than that value is rendered black. I'll link the shader code in the description.
That's pretty
For the actual graphics, I used the free tool Textures for Planets to generate the planet textures, and for stars I used the sun texture from Solar System Scope, and then wrote a shader to let me recolor it with a gradient texture so I could easily have different kinds of stars. And the background is just their stars texture applied to a sky sphere with a random rotation applied to it. Alright, next up is the power menu. Here you can toggle which systems are powered and see how much total power you have available. You can even turn off life support if you want, though you will die if you don't turn it back on in time. And finally, the files menu is where you can view files in your spacecraft's database. I also added support for receiving encrypted files that can then be decrypted, though it will take some time. Now, I had made a manual page also, but it didn't really add anything to the game and was a lot of work to write, so I removed it. I originally planned to have the game entirely viewed through this monitor with the explanation that it was pressed to your eyes in your hibernation pod, but I realized it would be a lot more creepy and claustrophobic feeling if you could actually see the probe you're inside of. So I built these surroundings with some basic textures and tubing, and
Yeah,
made so you
the
can look
probe
around
is
and see the
incredibly
body.
creepy.
For the screen, I render the computer UI in a separate viewport and display that as a texture on a plane. And for this tube connected to your face, I used a 3D path in Godot with a CSG polygon mesh on it, and then just locked the endpoint to the camera. Overall, this environment doesn't add anything to the gameplay, but it does look pretty cool. Now for spacecraft decay. Interstellar travel takes a long time, meaning the atomic battery powering your ship will decay and produce less power over time. So as the game progresses, you'll need to reroute power from different systems to complete your missions. Also, interstellar travel damages your electronics, leading to dead pixels on your monitor, making it harder to see what you're doing. The way this effect works is I have a random noise texture. The red channel is used to sample a gradient to decide the color of a dead pixel, and the blue channel is used to determine which pixels are dead by checking if the value is greater than a dead pixel percentage value that goes from 0 to 1. Shader code linked in the description again for this. I also added a loading bar on changing screens that takes longer to load as the game progresses to show that your computer is getting slower. With all the gameplay done, it was time to add some actual horror stuff, which I'm not going to talk about here. I'll make another video after the game comes out with spoilers explaining all of that. So go wishlist Voyager-19 on Steam, coming soon.
Okay, and here's the other one.
Spoilers for my game Voyager-19, go play it first if you want the full experience. It's only $4 and takes under an hour to beat, so if you don't like it, you can just return it.
He's true. He's right. It only took me 45 minutes.
I needed to
And some of
design
that was
horror
just
elements for my
unlucky
space
stuff with the
exploration game. My
last
first
planet.
idea was to have some kind of typical Lovecraftian eldritch horror. You encounter it in deep space, it breaks your mind and makes you go mad. But there were two problems with this approach. One, how do I make the graphics for an incomprehensible entity? And two, it's kind of obvious. I feel like this style of horror has been done in games and wouldn't really be a unique selling point for my game. My second idea was paranormal horror. You encounter a wrecked spacecraft with a dead pilot, and the pilot's ghost basically hitches a ride on your ship without you knowing to try to get home to Earth so it can rest peacefully. However, during the long interstellar trips, it gradually loses its mind and becomes malevolent, attempting to attack you and take over your ship. This idea was a lot more interesting with more opportunities for creepy moments, and I actually might make this into a game at some point. But I ended up not going with it for a couple reasons. One, I feel like Ghosts in Space has been done before, so it's still not unique enough for me. And two, this is a space exploration game where you photograph planets. I wanted the horror element to be something interesting to photograph, and while a ghost could mess with your camera to make creepy things appear, it still wouldn't feel like you're actually exploring or discovering something creepy. My final idea happened iteratively. I was thinking of having some kind of UFO that captures sentient creatures for whatever reason. And then I had the idea that it creates a hologram of a habitable planet around it as a way to lure prey in. But then I thought it would be even cooler if it was just some animal with no technology involved. It had just evolved to use aggressive mimicry, which is basically camouflage for predators, at
Hey, I know
cosmic
how
scale.
that works.
I thought of doing some kind of giant crustacean that has a shell that
Anybody
looks like
seen
a
my
planet,
glow
but that just
recently,
didn't
by the
make
way?
sense as it would have
Anybody
too much
looked
mass to
close?
reasonably move around, and there's no way it would ever get enough to eat. So I then came up with this much more alien
Oh,
design.
wow,
It has
that's
massive
creepy.
paper-thin wings that curl into a sphere, and a long tentacle it uses to grab prey. And this was
Wow,
finally the
that is
horror design that I was
creepy.
happy with. With the design done,
Seeing
I
it
had to do
moving
some
is
build-up
so
to it.
creepy.
Early in the game, you find a wrecked spacecraft with some encrypted files. As you travel from system to system, you gradually decrypt the files, which gives clues as to what the monster is. You also encounter a dead one and a few of what I intended to be eggs, but
Oh,
lots of
that's a
people
dead
thought
one.
they were just adults disguised as habitable planets for some other kind of species, which is honestly a way cooler idea, so I'm leaving it up to interpretation. Graphically, these are just spheres with a noise texture with triplanar coordinates and a repeated gradient texture to give
I
it
did
some
notice all the
lines.
lines
For the
in
final
them.
level, I felt like the obvious thing would have been to have a sudden jump scare where you encounter the monster and then die. But I really wanted to show off the creature design. I felt like with the build-up hinting at what it is and how unique its design is, it's way creepier to have it slowly pull you in, and all you can do is photograph it over and over, learning more about it until it crushes you. And that's how I designed the horror for Voyager-19. Thank you to everyone who played it. The game has been out for almost 2 weeks now, and I'm pretty happy with how it's turned out. My goal was to make a small game in a couple weeks and get out of my comfort zone of only making very mechanics-focused games and do something more atmospheric and story-focused. However, I think I should have had more mechanics, like more interesting spacecraft controls, and maybe some procedurally generated content, as a lot of players suggested. That would have made the moment-to-moment gameplay a lot more interesting and allowed for more replayability. Also, I realized the main downside of a story-focused game is that streamers and YouTubers don't really help the game sell. With a game like Endoparasitic, it looks very fun and unique, and when people see a YouTuber or streamer play it, they also want to play it and experience the mechanics themselves. But with a story-focused game, seeing someone else play through it gives you the whole
put it in
experience,
spoiler
and then
text.
there's no point in playing it yourself. So my main lesson learned is to always have engaging moment-to-moment gameplay in my games if I want them to sell.
Honestly, cool little game. I liked that.